Alright, hey, Hazelmega here, and I got a Honda Super Cub video for you guys today. In this video, we're going to bleed the front brake on the Honda Super Cub. Only the front brake, and you know why? Because we have a drum brake in the rear of the Super Cub, and it doesn't have hydraulic lines, okay? So that's why we're only going to do the front. Alright, it's pretty simple. You're going to need I think an 8mm wrench. You're going to need a bottle of .4 brake fluid. I've got this Bel-Ray Super .4 brake fluid. All right, as long as it's for .4, it's fine because that's what it says on the cap here. All right, and then I've got a Harbor Freight brake bleeder. All right, you can find one of these at your local Harbor Freight store. If you don't have anything else, you're gonna need at least a tube of clear line. All right, like this, like the one that's right here. All right. And like a water bottle or something, okay, something to catch the fluid in, right? But we'll be using this to, what we're gonna do is we're gonna flush the brake system, all right? How long, man, this is like a 2020. I think this is a 2020 Honda Super Cub, and it's 2023 now, so the brake fluid's about 3 years old. You're gonna want to inspect your brake fluid, all right? There's a little window here. And you can look at it and see what color the brake fluid is. The brake fluid is supposed to be clear, all right, like water clear, okay? If it has a tint to it, that means it's collected water, and you should probably change it, okay? But it's sealed; it shouldn't be collecting water, is what I want to say. But yeah, after a while, it'll start changing color, and when it does, you know that it's time to change it, okay? When it gets If there's just a slight tint to it, it's okay, but when it gets really, really dark, then you want to replace it, all right? Especially if you see like rust forming and stuff, yeah, that's no good, okay? So ideally you want it clear, okay? It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like the opposite of your pee color, right? So the darker your pee is, the more dehydrated you are, right? Well, it's the opposite in this case. The darker your brake fluid is, the more water is in it, okay? So the more hydrated it is what I'm gonna say, okay? So anyway, this shouldn't take too long. Let's go knock it out, right? Every couple years, or whenever the brake fluid looks kind of dark, okay? Like it starts to look kind of brown or like rust colored, yeah. Or it looks kind of like a dark cooking oil type of thing. All right, let's check it out. Okay, here's where we'll be working. You're gonna want to be very careful to not spill any brake fluid on your plastics, all right? Because brake fluid will eat through paint, okay? It'll damage your paint. And to do that, I'm gonna put some tape around here. All right, just in case. If you spill brake fluid on it, as long as you wipe it off right away, it should be fine, okay? That's what I'm gonna say. But it will eat through the paint, and freaking Honda has all this freaking plastic around there. All right. But what the first thing we should do is clean up the brake reservoir lid, okay? Also, as much as possible, try to wear gloves. Try not to touch this stuff. It's not good for you, okay? It's poison. So we're gonna clean the lid and the area around the lid, all right? The master cylinder. That's what this is, right? Try to get it in here. And another thing you could do is take this plastic cover off, but I'm not going to do it, okay? It's kind of a pain in the booty. Okay. That should be fine. So I'm looking through the window, and it does look like it's slightly brown. The reason I'm doing it is because I just changed the brake fluid on my Alta Redshift, and I want to use the rest of that brake fluid. Okay. Okay. See, that's the window right there. You want that to be clear. Okay, and as you can see, that it's kind of got that like a whiskey looking color. Okay, so it's probably a good time to change it now. Okay. And also another thing is you want there to be fluid. You want the window to be full of fluid, but you also want to have a little bubble in it. So you don't want it to be completely full, or else you filled it up too much. You need room for the brake fluid to expand, okay? So don't fill it up all the way. You're supposed to fill it up between the minimum and the maximum line, all right? My suggestion is, yeah, like see how it is right now? There's a little bubble on top. That's how you want it, okay? You want a little bubble on the top when you put the lid back on. Okay, so now it's clean. We can go open it. Okay, and yeah, and I shouldn't have to tell you, but the bike should be on like a level surface on its center stand, okay? And you want to have the handlebars pointing as straight as possible, okay? Okay, so now what you want to do is we're going to open the reservoir, okay? So I'm going to use this tool. Yeah, you can use a screwdriver, but these like to strip really easily. I think these use JIS screws, Japanese screws, so if you're using like an American screwdriver, it may strip these, alright? If worst comes to worst, use an impact screwdriver, okay, if you got one. If I can't get it out, that's what we're going to use. But I'm going to use this because I know it's a Japanese screwdriver because I bought it from a Japanese dollar store, okay? So, and one of these guys will put more pressure on it, alright? So, wish me luck. Hopefully I don't strip it. I hate these, man. Okay, there we go. That came out easily. A little too easily, if you ask me. Okay, so once it's loose, you can just get a regular screwdriver. Alright, guys. That's what I was worried about stripping those, because I always strip onto it. Oh, yeah. Hold on. There's another thing I want to do real quick. Okay, before we take the lid off, I want to put some tape, alright, around the plastics. Okay. Just in case, you know, we splash some brake fluid on it. We won't mess up the paint, okay? Doesn't have to be perfect, but... I'm just using painter's tape. You can use masking tape if you want. Okay, that should keep that area free of brake fluid when you open it. Okay, now go ahead and open the lid. Fortunately, mine opened without breaking, so remember, try to make sure it's clean. Okay. Put the screw somewhere safe. Go open up the lid. Okay, so there's a plastic reservoir. There's a plastic a rubber diaphragm there. You're gonna have to peel that off. Oh, it's a piece of plastic. All right. Remember, keep everything as clean as possible. You don't want to contaminate the brake fluid. Okay. Let's open it up. We'll probably clean the rest. We'll clean that brake fluid out. Put that somewhere safe. Okay, so there's the brake fluid. That color looks okay still. All right, I would still run that for a couple more years, but like I said, I've got extra brake fluid, brand new brake fluid, so I want to use it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and flush this. Okay, so we're gonna go suck the fluid out. All right, all the old fluid out. And how we're gonna do that is we're gonna use my Harbor Freight brake bleeder. All right, front brake caliper. Okay, we're gonna go hook up our brake bleeder here. Remove the nipple cover here. Okay. Torn glue. Okay, it doesn't come off. There's a little kind of like a lanyard sort of on it. We'll just try to get it out of the way. And it's a 8 millimeter. Yep. Only want it in that position right there. Okay. And then we're going to put the brake bleeder hose right here. Okay, like I mentioned, if you can find a piece of clear tubing and a bottle, then I will show you 2 ways to do this. Okay, with this Harbor Freight brake bleeder, and then the old-fashioned way. Okay, it's pretty simple on a motorcycle. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to open the valve here, the bleeder valve. Oh, yeah, we want to go. We're going to open it, not close it. think, you know what? It's kind of in an annoying position. Why did Honda do this? Alright, we're going to open it. Alright, and then, oh boy, I'm going to keep it from closing. That's what I'm trying to do. Alright, and then I'm going to hit this. You have to have this hooked up to an air compressor. I'm going to hit this lever here, and it's going to create a vacuum and suck the brake fluid out, okay? It's not doing anything because the valve freaking closed itself. You gotta hold it open, I guess. They sucked all the fluid through. Okay, it doesn't look like anything came out, but it sure did. All right, so you want to make sure you don't empty the reservoir all the way. Okay, and you can see I came pretty close. Okay, and then, so when you're done sucking that out, just close this. Yep, close it. Alright. Okay, next you want to fill up the reservoir. Fill it up as high as you can, alright? So we can suck out as much as we can. So the goal here is to get, what we're trying to do is replace all the fluid in the system with fresh fluid, okay? So that's why we got to run, I would say flush it like 3 times, okay? And then you should be good. You want to get all that old fluid out of the lines. All right, make sure you use a brake fluid that came out of a sealed container, okay? I used this a couple hours ago, so it should be fine, okay? But don't use some brake fluid that's been lying around for a long time, okay? So we're going to pour it into the reservoir. Okay, don't overfill it, but fill it as high as you can get it. All right, and then we're just going to do the same thing again. I'm going to let you guys see the level go down. Okay. Okay, I'm opening the valve, and I'm gonna suck the fluid out. I see the fluid going down the window. When it gets to the bottom of the window, I'm going to stop. Okay, we're going to refill the reservoir all the way to the top again. Okay. So you can see it's nice and clear now. But we're gonna flush it 2 more times to make sure all the fluid's out. Okay, I'm gonna go do the same thing again. Paying careful attention to the window. Okay, we're going to refill it one more time. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I almost put too much. Okay, and I'm going to suck it out one more time. Okay, I'm going to refill it one more time, alright? You can do this however many times you want. And And now we're gonna set the level, but I'm gonna show you how to bleed it the old school way. All right, if you don't have this wonderful brake bleeder, you see I'm making a mess already. That's why we put that there. Also, you want to clean out all this. See this crud here? It's starting to form. Yeah, get rid of that. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to manually bleed the brakes. All right, if you don't have the Harbor Freight brake bleeder. Okay, so what you're gonna want to do is make sure the valve is closed. Right. Make sure it's closed. You're going to want to pump the brake lever a couple times. Alright, hold the brake lever down and then open the brake fluid, open the bleeder valve. Alright, the lever should go all the way in, and then you're going to close it. Tighten it. Okay, and let go of the lever. Okay, and then you should see the fluid start to go down. Alright. And when it gets to the level that I want it, we're going to stop. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. Pump it a couple times. Alright, open the valve. Close it. Let go of the lever. Okay. Pump it a couple times. Hold the lever down. Open it. Lever goes down, valve closes, let go of the lever. Alright, and I'm just going to keep on doing this until I get it to the level that I want it. So you can see this way it takes way longer. Just keep at it. The level will just keep on going down, 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 down. Okay, I can start to see a little bubble forming in the window. That's good. Maybe one more time. Oh, snaps. Right, I made a mess. The hose popped out. Okay, as long as you don't, if you open the valve, when it's exposed to air, it will suck air into the system, and then you don't want that. That's bad. I think I'm gonna do it one more time. Okay, so I feel that it's at the level that I would like it at. Okay, so you can see here. There's a little bubble in the window. That's what we want, okay? Because when we put the diaphragm back on and the lid back on, it's gonna take up that little space in there, right? So you want a little bit of air in there, okay? As long as there's fluid in that sight window, you're fine, okay? So if it's half full, it's still fine, guys, okay? Okay, what we're gonna do next is clean this guy up, all right? Try to clean out all the brake fluid from it as much as possible. I'm just wiping it with a tissue paper. Clean out any kind of dirt. All right. Try not to get any brake fluid on the reservoir cap, or else the paint will come off of it, okay? Okay, I feel that's pretty good. Okay, now that we know the level is fine, go ahead and put the cap back on. Yeah, just try to clean all the brake fluid off of it as much as possible, because it's kind of a pain in the ass to clean it when it's thing. Okay, let's put it back in. So remember, there's the diaphragm, and then there's the plastic thing in there. Okay, I never took them out. All right, I put them back after I took them out. So okay, put that back in. Also remember, if your pads are a little bit worn, when you go to install new brake pads, you're going to push the pistons back, and it's going to push the fluid back into the reservoir, so it'll be like over full. So that's why if your pads are a little bit worn, that's fine. Okay, make sure there's like a some air in there, all right? Because over time the pistons are going to go out more, and it's going to suck the fluid. It's going to suck the fluid from the reservoir. Right, the level should go down over time. Right, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, try to tighten them evenly. And you just want it snug. Okay. Okay, and that should be it. Okay, just kind of clean up your mess, like I made a mess down there, man. Want to make sure this is closed. It is. Okay. Also, I want to suck the fluid out of this. Okay, that's what I do to make sure the line is clear. Okay. And I could probably suck some of this crap off the ground with this. This is a very handy tool, guys. Okay. Just make sure that's nice and snug. It is. Go get a napkin. I'm trying to wipe all that brake fluid off around there. If you got any on the caliper, wipe it off, or else it'll damage the paint. Okay. And one thing nice to do is tighten this up here. Okay. Tighten it as good as you can, and then just stick it in the hole. Alright. Don't suck any fluid. See, there's a lot of fluid in there. That was in there. Alright. I don't want to do that again. There's a lot. I think that's good. Okay, and then put the nipple cover back on. Alright, that'll help keep it nice and clean. And we're pretty much done. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do is take this tape off. I'm going to take it off in the opposite way that you put it on there. Okay, and there we go, no spill. And then yeah, just try to make sure there's no brake fluid hanging around here. Okay, make sure it's nice and clean, or else it will eat through the paint on the thing. Okay. Okay, so you're gonna want to give the brake lever a squeeze. Make sure it's to your liking. I'm not gonna lie, the brake lines on the Super Cub kind of suck, man. They're rubber and they flex a lot. All right, so it's not gonna be really stiff. All right, but if you think it feels too mushy, go ahead and bleed it again. Okay, but I think it's okay. The next thing you're gonna want to do is take it for a test ride and see if you like it. Okay, if it's braking good. All right, and then if you spilled any brake fluid on the rotor, you should clean it off, okay? Because it'll contaminate the pads. On the rotor. And there you go. So that's how you flush the brake fluid from your Honda Super Cub. All right. Remember, you only need to do it for the front because the back is mechanical. Okay, there's no hydraulics in the back. So, so I used a 12 fluid ounce container of Bel-Ray Super .4 brake fluid. You could use any brake fluid as long as it's .4 rated, alright? I think I got this for like 12 bucks at Cycle Gear. and it's Bel Ray. It's good stuff, okay? And I used up a quarter of it, all right? So not a lot, all right? So don't go and buy the really tall bottle. Buy a small bottle, all right, guys? I did 2 motorcycles with this, all right? And the other motorcycle I did was the front and the back. So that ate up half. So that tells me, yeah, it takes up a quarter to do one side, all right? But there's only one. You only have to do one side on this bike, okay? Also, I use this thing. This makes it super easy, guys. But I always like to double check and do it manually for the last time, right? That's exactly how I did it, all right? And it works pretty good, all right? Really easy, okay? I will put a link in the description of the video where you can get one of these guys at Harbor Freight, all right? It's great. You might be able to pick them up on Amazon, something similar. I don't know if they sell this exact one anymore. I've had this for like a decade now or something, all right? And it works great. I love it. Okay, you can also use it to suck the fluid out of the reservoir, but the reservoir is so small that I just suck it through the whole system, okay? But yeah, it's a great tool to have if you have an air compressor, okay? If you don't, the next best thing is one of those little vacuum pumps, all right? If you got the hand vacuum pump, that works great. And then yeah, the worst is the manual bleeding, the one where you have to pump it and then open the valve, and like I showed you the second way I showed you, okay? But I always like to do both of them because I don't completely trust this. Okay, sometimes this works great and sometimes it doesn't work great, all right? So, okay, yep, so that's the end of the video. I think it shouldn't take you longer than like an hour to do this, all right? It's really simple. I think it took me an hour, but that's because I'm trying to make a video about it. I could probably knock it out in like 20 minutes if I was, you know, really trying to get it done real quick. Okay, all right, there you go. Thanks for watching. I hope this was educational and entertaining. That's how you flush and bleed the brakes on a Honda Super Cub C125. Thanks for watching. Hayes Miguel.